Everything's bigger in America. We've got the biggest cars, the biggest houses, the biggest companies, the biggest food, and finally, the biggest people. America has now become the fattest nation in the world. Congratulations. Nearly 100 million Americans are today either overweight or obese. That's more than 60% of all U.S. adults. My mother cooked dinner every single day. Almost all my memories of her are in the kitchen. And we never ate out, only on those few rare special occasions. Today, families do it all the time, and they're paying for it, not only with their wallets, but with their waistlines. Obesity is now second only to smoking as a major cause of preventable death in America, with more than 400,000 deaths per year associated with related illnesses. In 2002, a few Americans got fed up with being overweight and did what we do best. They sued the bastards. Taking aim at the fast food companies and blaming them for their obesity and illnesses, a lawsuit was filed in New York on behalf of two teenage girls. One who was 14 years old, 4'10" and 170 pounds. The other, 19 years old, 5'6" and 270 pounds. The unthinkable had suddenly become reality. People were suing the Golden Arches for selling them food that most of us know isn't good for you to begin with. Yet each day, 1 in 4 Americans visits a fast food restaurant. Lawyers for McDonald's call the suits frivolous, stating that the dangers of its food are universally known and that these kids can't show that their weight problems and health woes were caused solely by their McDiets. The judge states, however, that if lawyers for the teens can show that McDonald's intends for people to eat its food for every meal of every day and that doing so would be unreasonably dangerous, they may be able to state a claim. Are the food companies solely to blame for this epidemic? Where does personal responsibility stop and corporate responsibility begin? Is fast food really that bad for you? I mean, what would happen if I ate nothing but McDonald's for 30 days straight? Would I suddenly be on the fast track to becoming an obese American? Would it be unreasonably dangerous? Let's find out. I'm ready. Supersize me. I knew if I was going to do this, I would need some serious medical supervision. So I enlisted the help of not one, but 3 doctors: a cardiologist, a gastroenterologist, and a general practitioner.
You're feeling quite well today, yes?
Quite well.
In general, any fatigue or weight loss, weight gain, any change in your vision?
No fever, no earache, no cough, no shortness of breath, no chest pain, no
nausea, vomiting, heartburn.
And no hospitalizations for illness?
No.
Do you take any medications of any sort?
I don't. I've just been taking vitamins.
Okay. Any food allergies or anything?
No.
There's no heart disease or diabetes or blood pressure or cancer in the immediate family?
My grandfather's had a couple open heart surgeries.
Mm-hmm. 1 out of 4 grandparents is dead.
Yeah.
Good genes. That's the important thing.
Any alcohol use?
Now, none.
You don't smoke?
I used to, but I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Any drug use at all?
Not for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Are you sexually active at present?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. A girlfriend?
Yes.
Is there anything we didn't cover? Is there anything else you need to tell me?
I don't think so.
Patient is embarking on a 1-month McDonald's binge.
Tests are excellent. Okay, you're starting off with a total cholesterol of 168, which is less than 200, and it's really superb.
Your blood level's fine, your iron level is good as well.
Mm-hmm. You have no evidence of diabetes. Your fasting blood sugar is very low.
The other thing that we looked at were all your electrolytes in terms of the salts in your blood, your kidney function, your liver function. They were all perfect.
Your triglycerides, which is your building blocks of fat, basically from what you acquire from eating fat, is 43, which is low, which is good.
Your general health, is outstanding.
Great.
Your urinalysis is great.
So you're starting off terrific.
I think the worst case scenario is that you increase your triglycerides and your cholesterol level, and if you have any heart disease in the family or any underlying heart disease, you're putting your heart at risk.
I expect to see an increase in your triglycerides because that can be affected. You're at 87 now, and I think that will change. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the only thing that will change.
Out of everything?
Out of everything. I mean, there might be some minor variations, but the body is extremely adaptable. And the kidneys will handle any extra salt that you're taking in, and your liver will be able to metabolize additional fats.
As far as Gaining weight, you probably will. As far as your cholesterol going up, it probably will. As far as you feeling miserable, maybe. I don't know. Unless you start cheating and just order the salads.
I also went to a fancy New York wellness center to meet a registered dietitian who would help track my progress.
Okay, let's start with getting your height and weight.
I'm 6'2". I weigh about 185.
For your height, this is a healthy weight. I can tell you that right now. Your BMI, which is the body mass index, is within normal limits, which means you're not obese. You're actually at the correct weight.
Okay, so what I should do is I should keep sort of a checklist of the things that I eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Keep a food log. Your calorie needs are going to be averaging about 2,500 calories a day. As far as fat goes, for 2,500 calories, you're going to want about 80 grams of total fat in a day. The saturated fat, which is a component of total fat, you want to have less than 25 grams a day. Don't try to overindulge too much.
Yeah.
Good luck, Morgan.
Great.
Thank you.
More than 60% of Americans get no form of exercise. So for the next 30 days, neither will I. But I'll still have to walk. How much does the average American walk a day?
Oh, you know, there's reason to believe. We have these pedometers that we put on people, step counters. You could very roughly estimate that about 2,000 steps, because 2,000 would make a mile. And we know that people that work in office settings, who drive a car to and from work or take an elevator up to that office, may take as little as 2,500 or 3,000 steps in their entire day. If you wanted to feel physically like a lot of Americans do, then you'd kind of limit yourself to about 5,000 steps a day.
Burger.
I know he's going to do it for a month, but I think after a week he's going to be really irritated. I think it's going to affect our relationship.
You are a vegan chef.
Yes, I'm a vegan chef. I just don't know if I can. Of course I will. I'll sit next to him while he eats McDonald's. Of course I will. I'm just going to be rolling my eyes the whole time. We have a vegetable tart and a quinoa and roasted veggie salad, artichokes and a simple green salad, all beautiful, organic, fresh vegetables that you're going to miss so much.
What am I going to have that's organic?
In the next month, nothing.
Nothing.
You're only going to have genetically modified potatoes.
I'm going to eat as many vegetables as I can tonight.
There's plenty here for you.
That's really good.
It's good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Have they improved their cookies in the last 10 years? Because the last time I had them, they were like little hockey pucks.
I don't know. We'll see. It's the first day, and I'm on my way to breakfast. Could I get an Egg McMuffin extra value meal? Every 8-year-old's dream right now that I'm getting ready to fulfill. I got my Egg McMuffin. That's gonna be the first thing right there. I got my scorecard, and in here I had 1 Egg McMuffin, I had 1 sausage biscuit. There are rules to what's going on here in this whole process. I will only supersize it if they ask me. And I can only eat things that are for sale over the counter at McDonald's. Water included. If McDonald's doesn't sell it, I can't eat it. I have to have everything on the menu at least once over the next 30 days, and I have to have 3 squares a day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No excuses. Oh, I love Big Macs. See, this is probably the first time in a long time that I've actually seen a Big Mac that looks like the picture. That actually almost looks like the picture. Look at that. Big Macs never look this good. You gotta come to Chinatown for the good Big Macs.
I think there's a lot of focus on the fast food companies because they are mentioned more than virtually all the other causes in most of the articles and books and studies about why it's a sudden epidemic. Again, it can't be the neighborhood restaurant. We've had neighborhood restaurants for hundreds of years. It can't be the foods we eat at home. We've been eating at home for hundreds of years. Something is very different. I think the figure is we eat out something like 40% of our meals.
John Banzaf is currently spearheading the attacks against the food industry, advising many of the lawyers who are currently going through the process. People say he's crazy, but that's what they used to say about him when he first sued the tobacco companies. Until he won.
I think in terms of responsibility, it's fair to point the big gun at McDonald's. McDonald's is one of the biggest, but more importantly, it is the one with, far more than all the others, lures in young children. They have the playgrounds, the closed indoor playgrounds. Many places, there are no other playgrounds. You've got to take your kid there. So even at 2 and 3 and 4, those kids are being lured into there. McDonald's is very heavy on birthday parties. They, of course, pioneered the Happy Meals. Now the Mighty Kids Meals also with those little gotta-have-them toys, so they get the kids in. And, of course, the whole clown. McDonald's is the clown. A lot of those ads appeal primarily to kids. There's a cartoon on TV which features them. So they, more than others, lure the kids in. And I think all of us are far more concerned about the kids.
I think that fast foods are a major contributor to this epidemic.
In 2000, Dr. David Satcher became the first Surgeon General to draw attention to the obesity crisis, declaring it a national epidemic.
Now remember, we're supersizing everything. You go to any place to buy, go to any fast food store, and they're trained to tell you to buy a bigger size. For 5 cents more, you can get the super size.
Federal government will define a piece of meat, 3 ounces of meat, as a sensible portion, and that looks like a deck of cards. Few people would be able to find this deck of cards if they were served a piece of meat, a steak, in a restaurant. It would probably be about 4 or 5 times the size. One typical bagel that one is eating that looks something like this is going to comprise 5 servings of bread. When fast food companies first opened, they generally introduced one size. For example, one size French fries when McDonald's first opened, called fries. That size fries is now called small, medium, large, and supersize. That original size is still here. It's got about 200 calories, but the supersize is going to pack in over 600 calories.
Hello, may I help you?
Yeah, could I get the double quarter pounder with cheese meal?
Large or supersize?
I think I'm gonna have to go supersize. Look at that. Look at that Coke. That barely fits in there. Oh, shit. I was gonna, look at that. Look at how big that thing is. Look how big that French fry is. That thing is like 4 feet tall. Double quarter pounder with cheese. More calories than anything. There it is. A little bit of heaven. Mmm. See, now's the time of the meal when you start getting the McStomach ache. You start getting the McTummy, you get the McGurgles in there, you get the McBrick, and you get the McStomach ache. I'm dying.
Oh God, that's so nasty. Oh, it's making me puke.
My stomach feels horrible this morning. It doesn't feel good at all. There we go. I'm getting this really weird feeling right in my midsection, like basically in my penis right now. It's just like this. It's really freaky.
That is very odd.
Yeah.
It could be from the caffeine, but I'm not, I couldn't really pinpoint that 100%.
You have it delivered from Mr. Morgan, 1339.
1339. I made it over the 3-day hump. You know how when you quit smoking? I don't know how many of you out there smoke cigarettes, but you should stop. I quit smoking. And it's the 3-day hump. It's the 3-day hump when you quit smoking cigarettes. If you can make it over those 3 days without smoking one cigarette, if you can make it past day 1, day 2, day 3, you make it over the hump, you're fine. Same thing with this. I made it past day 3. I'm all right.
Left unabated, obesity would overtake smoking as a leading preventable cause of death in this country.
I was at this meal, and it came up that one of the people was a smoker. And somebody else at the table started hectoring them about it. What's the matter with you? Don't you know how bad it is for you? it'll do this, that, and the other thing to you, and you really should stop. And the smoker, rather than saying, fuck you, which, you know, is the mind your own business, which I think is the appropriate response, was abashed and defensive, and like, oh, I tried to quit, and yeah, I'm going to try again, and you're right, and so on. At that same table, there was a quite large woman. And I was wondering, what if this guy, instead of confronting the smoker, had said to the large woman, what's the matter with you, you fat pig? Don't you know how dangerous it is to be so overweight? Stop eating, for God's sake, and don't you dare get dessert. And what's the matter with you, right? Same logic. I'd be hard-pressed to find a distinction between those two examples. Okay, so one is now socially acceptable to hector smokers, but the other one isn't quite yet. So the question is, at what point will it become acceptable to publicly hector fat people in the way that the smokers are publicly hectored?
Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's.
One of the most disturbing things to me is that in the last 20 to 25 years, we've actually seen a doubling of overweight and obese children and adolescents.
And this weight gain has been linked to countless health problems later in life, such as hypertension, coronary heart disease, stroke, gallbladder disease, osteoarthritis, sleep apnea, respiratory problems, endometrial, breast, prostate, and colon cancers, dyslipidemia, steatohepatitis, insulin resistance, asthma, hyperuricemia, reproductive hormone abnormalities, polycystic ovarian syndrome, impaired fertility, and adult-onset diabetes.
I think it's very, very hard for overweight teenagers because you're always going to see the thin, pretty, popular girls, and you can't help but look at them and think, I wish I was her, or I wish I could have that. And I mean, it's depressing. It makes you feel like crap. I mean, that's just how it is. And it's of course it's hard being a teenager because you see all the girls in the Cosmo Girl or Teen People, and they're all beautiful, and you think, aren't I supposed to look like that? And it's just not, it's not realistic. It's not a realistic way to live.
So without further ado, let's welcome Jared Bogle.
My big thing was never smoking, it was never drinking, obviously it wasn't doing drugs. My big vice was food. And before I knew it, I wound up weighing 425 pounds. I brought in a present for you. My old pants that are now made famous in all the Subway commercials.
This is my daughter, Victoria. She's an 8th grade honor student, and you're a real inspiration to the kids. I really appreciate that.
That's one of the greatest. I mean, as I said, when I started putting my weight on, as you guys know, at 3rd or 4th grade, so.
And she was real tiny when she was littler.
Sure.
And it's been in our family. In fact, I had a great-grandfather that died and was buried in a piano box years and years ago.
Yeah.
So it's in a history.
Absolutely.
So, and she's been trying to maintain her weight. And
it's tough. It's always a challenge. I know, and it's, as a kid, it's awfully hard these days. But
and kids are not always kind.
No, not at all. And I know that firsthand, and it's, the problem is the world's not going to change. You have to change.
And I guess it's kind of cool to know somebody or be able to listen to somebody talk about actually being where I am right now. And it's kind of hard because I can't afford to go there every single day and buy a sandwich 2 times a day. And that's what he's talking about. That's the only solution. That's what he said that worked the best. But I can't do that. And I've tried other ways, and it's kind of hurt my body from doing other ways that I've tried to do, and it's kind of hard to look at someone who said, hey, I've done it, so you can do it, but it's not that easy.
Yeah, can I get the 2 cheeseburger meal? Okay, supersized. Second time.
Thank you, sir. Very good. Thanks, man.
After 5 days on the McDonald's diet, what I did was I ran 3 days worth of food analysis. The needs for you to maintain weight at the 185 that you were at when you came in, 186 pounds, was approximately 2,500 calories, okay? Right now you're getting about almost 5,000 calories a day, the average being 4,986. I would love for you to take a multivitamin.
McDonald's doesn't sell multivitamins.
Well, here's my new advice, is just kind of minimize the meals. A nice substitute for the hot fudge sundae would be the yogurt.
That is true if you get the snack size, 5 ounces. If you get the regular size without granola, it contains nearly as many calories as a strawberry sundae. With granola, it has more calories than the hot fudge or caramel sundae. And if that doesn't make you think twice about the parfaits, then how about this?
There's a big nappy hair in it. That's disgusting. I'm going to show you how we do it. You go like this. We go. Oh, look, it's long, too. Did you see that? Oh, that's so gross. Only the finest at McDonald's. Here we are at 190.
It was 186 last
192,
week.
193, 194. No. We have to stop everything. I don't believe it. 195 pounds.
Wait.
Jello, chicken rhythm.
These are the first McNuggets I've had in this whole exciting tour of duty. Look at that. Glistening in the sun. Boy, that is miserable. I'm not sure what portion of the chicken that's shaped like that. I'm guessing this is the foot on the chicken.
In the lawsuit against them, McDonald's stated in their own defense that it's a matter of common knowledge that any processing that its foods undergo serve to make them more harmful than unprocessed foods. Case in point, McNuggets. Originally created from old chickens that could no longer lay eggs, McNuggets are now made from chickens with unusually large breasts. They are stripped from the bone and ground up into a sort of chicken mash, which is then combined with all sorts of stabilizers and preservatives, pressed into familiar shapes, breaded, deep-fried, freeze-dried, and then shipped to a McDonald's near you. Judge Robert Sweet called them a McFrankenstein creation of various elements not utilized by the home cook.
So for the past couple days, which I haven't shared with everybody, it's been a new thing, is I've started to have like some not chest pains, but like pressure. You know, I feel like I got pressure on my chest. So I figure that's probably not a good thing. But neither's eating all this. So. I tell you, I haven't smelled bad yet.
Yeah, you have.
No, I haven't.
You just don't smell how bad you smell.
No. Look at that fish fillet. Look at this thing.
Oh, God, that looks nasty, man.
Isn't that horrible?
Obviously, that was been sitting around all day.
That, the fillet of fish.
Oh.
Shit. Did I get the double quarter pounder with cheese value meal?
Okay, thank you. 486.
I don't feel good today. Not that I feel sick, but I just feel really depressed. You know, for no reason. I mean, things are going great. We've had a good day. I just feel really, yeah. It's not real hard eating this food all the time. Just because, you know, it tastes good. It makes you feel good. I really noticed I'll eat some, and just a little while later, I'll be hungry again. And I'll want more. More. So I'm pretty bored with their menu. It only took me 9 days. But it's pretty good otherwise. 9 days.
The average American child sees 10,000 food advertisements per year on television. 95% of those are for sugared cereals, soft drinks, fast foods, or candy. A parent who eats every meal, every day, for the whole year with their child, and every meal gives a very compelling nutrition message and can bring in cartoon characters and Michael Jordan, so instead of selling McDonald's, he sells oranges, and Britney Spears, instead of selling Pepsi, will sell radishes or lettuce or something. That parent will have 1,000 cracks at their child compared to 10,000 for the food industry. So it's not a fair fight.
You know, by the time kids are able to speak, most of them can say McDonald's.
I'm going to show you some pictures, and I want you to tell me who they are.
Okay.
Who's that? You don't know?
George Washington.
Yeah? Who is he?
He was the fourth president. He freed the slaves. And he could never tell a lie.
Who's that?
Don't know. I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. George W. Bush?
No, that's a good guess, though. Who is this?
I don't know. Goldilocks? I forgot the name, but I think I know.
Yeah? Where have you seen her?
That picture is on the sign. Wendy.
Nice. Who's that?
McDonald. Ronald McDonald.
Who is it?
McDonald.
What does he do?
He was helping people at the cash register. He works at McDonald's. I love the pancakes and sausage. He brings every of his friends to McDonald's for a Happy Meal.
Where have you seen him?
On television, on the commercials. He's the character that made McDonald's. And he does a lot of funny stuff on TV.
Companies spend billions making sure you know their product. In 2001, on direct media advertising, that's radio, television, and print, McDonald's spent $1.4 billion worldwide. On direct media advertising, Pepsi spent more than $1 billion. To advertise its candy, Hershey Foods spent under a mere $200 million internationally. In its peak year, the 5-a-day fruit and vegetable campaign's total advertising budget in all media was a lowly $2 million, 100 times less than just the direct media budget of one candy company.
Think about the way food is marketed. T-shirts, coupons, toys for children, giveaways in fast food places, placemats. I mean, just all of the different ways in which food marketing is ubiquitous. The most heavily advertised foods are consumed the most.
Tomato, concentrate, distilled vinegar, high fructose corn syrup, and corn syrup. That means sugar. I'll move over to my salad shaker. I feel a little sick to my stomach. This is the best part of the day, when I get to be fat on the bed with my quart of Coke. Mm-mm.
People eat out a lot. And so if there aren't healthy foods available at restaurants and there isn't good nutrition information, it makes eating out difficult.
McDonald's says nutrition information for all their products is available online. But according to the 2000 U.S. Census, more than half of all U.S. homes still don't have internet access. So what are these people supposed to do? Go to the stores for nutrition information? Is that information even there? I went to find out.
Do you guys have any of the nutrition fact sheets? Do you guys have one of those? You know, the things that fold out and have the nutrition info in them?
There aren't any over there?
Or would they be up front?
Yeah, they should be.
But they got lots of info about Dora the Explorer Live. That's cool. Thank you. Okay.
Can't find the booklet?
You can use the one right there.
But I mean, you don't have ones you can take with you. Do you guys have one on the wall?
Because they only have it like flyers now. Like the big one before, they don't put it up anymore.
Oh, they don't post those anymore? Why not?
I don't know.
Only half the McDonald's in Manhattan had the nutrition info posted on the wall. Some had the takeaway nutrition charts, and 1 in 4 had no information whatsoever. This nice manager brought me the nutrition wall chart from the basement.
Oh, thank you. You don't have ones that I can take with me, like a takeaway? Do you know when you'll have some of the paper ones again?
John Banzaf and I looked all over this McDonald's in Washington for any nutritional information. And then we found it.
Aha, here we go. Behind here, you'd never see it. It's right back there. You can't argue that people should exercise personal responsibility and then not give them the information on which to base it.
I got my chicken group.
There's no chicken group.
That's my cholesterol group.
Protein.
I got my protein group.
Carbohydrates.
I got my meat group.
You got meat, sugar, and fat.
I officially had to loosen my belt the other day from, I had to go a notch lower.
1 notch?
1 notch. Scary. I'm an old pro at this now.
Right. You'll get sick of this too, though. Girlfriend must be loving
She
you.
hates me.
All right.
Cool. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I averaged out all the calories for the last 9 days, and you're still eating over 200% of what your needs are. I suggest you cut out all the liquids that you're drinking from McDonald's, except for water. A lot of people who lose 10% of, if they're obese and they lose 10% of their body weight, it's beneficial. It can be beneficial in terms of, you know, blood pressure and so on. So gaining 10% of your body weight maybe could be equally non-beneficial.
Here we go. Second weigh-in.
What do you think, Eric? 203?
Around 202, 203.
203?
Yeah.
I think you almost got 10% of your body weight gained. So you've pretty much gained 17 pounds in 12 days.
You look like
You better slow down. I'm telling you, don't drink your calories. I told him no more shakes, no more Coke.
The soft drink companies especially boast about how they're contributing to America's education. But in fact, what they're doing is they're draining money from the community rather than contributing money to the community, because the soft drink companies aren't pumping those dollars into the machines. It's the children in the community who are getting the money from their parents. And instead of that money going directly to education, the soft drink companies are taking a cut of it and, you know, walking away rich as a consequence.
We just banned soda in our school district. And the sugar here shows you how much sugar a student will drink in a week of just soda. Forget about the rest of the food they eat. And some of these companies are really opposing the ban for reasons of that we would lose revenue. And it's not about money. It's not about economics. It's about health.
Oh, the McDonald's Texas Homestyle Burger Meal. That's a local specialty. So it's kind of like a Big and Tasty, but only.
Except the Big and Tasty comes with mayonnaise.
Comes with Oh, then you know what? I need the McDonald's Texas Homestyle Burger Meal, please.
Would you like to supersize it tonight?
Oh, yes, I would. Do a lot of people supersize it?
Yes.
Yeah, like say you ask 5 people. How many of those 5 do it?
Actually, I get mostly all of them.
Oh, mostly all of them? So you just say you're batting about 100%.
Yeah.
See that? She's that good. Here we are, Houston, Texas, fattest city in America. Getting my first breakfast. When it comes to the topic of obesity, many people are quick to point the finger at various foods and food companies. But the Grocery Manufacturers of America, a Washington, D.C.-based lobby group whose mission is to advance the interests of the food, beverage, and consumer products industry, are quick to shift the focus away from the companies they represent and to remind everyone that there's more at work here than just eating poorly.
We believe very strongly in our industry and in other industries. I think you'll find there's a growing consensus that the solution lies in good education. We have to get good information to parents so that they can teach their children better exercise and nutrition habits, and so that they can lead the healthy lifestyles. We don't teach physical education.
In 2001, President Bush announced his presidency with sweeping education reform. The No Child Left Behind Act would now hold states accountable for not having students who met minimum education requirements. Apparently, we were not only the fattest nation in the world, but we were quickly becoming the stupidest.
Calorie is a measure of the energy content of food, and a calorie, the kind that you usually see when you see the caloric content on food labels, 1 calorie is the amount of energy that's needed to raise the temperature of a liter of water by 1 degree centigrade.
Well said. Could I get a bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddle? Smells like a little pancake. Tastes like a little pancake. Look at that. I haven't walked a half mile a day since we've been here. No wonder everything's bigger in Texas. I got my lunch, I got my dinner. Never have to leave the house.
For me to watch him go through this, I gotta tell you, I worry about his health. He's exhausted by the end of the day, just so tired, gets home really late from work, and he gets all jacked up on sugar and caffeine, and then he crashes. And then when we do have sex, I gotta tell you, he's not quite as energetic as he used to be. I have to be on top. Otherwise, he gets tired easily. I think the saturated fats are starting to impede the blood flow to his penis, and he's having a hard time, getting it up. He does, totally. I mean, it's still good, but it's like definitely a big difference. There's definitely a difference. I can tell.
Oh, I feel horrible today. My headache's coming back again. It feels like somebody's yanking on the tendons behind my eyes. My body officially hates me.
All the vitamins that you see here, vitamin E, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, and so on, are all under 50% of what you need. You're getting quite a lot of carbohydrates, and I know clearly that those are all refined carbohydrates because those are coming from the buns, biscuits, hash browns, okay?
Right.
And the sugar. I mean, let's not forget the most refined carbohydrate of all, which is coming from your milkshakes and your Coke.
In fact, there are only 7 items on the McDonald's menu that contain no sugar whatsoever. French fries, chicken McNuggets, hash browns, sausage, Diet Coke, coffee, and iced tea. Everything else, even the salads, contain sugar.
I'm telling you, 202.
Yeah, I lost a pound.
Oh, thank God. Muscle weighs more than fat, so no, you might have lost some muscle mass and gained some fat mass.
I lost a pound. Let's go get something to eat. I was feeling bad in the car, feeling like shit. Really. I was feeling really, really sick and unhappy. Started eating. Feel great. Feel really good now. I feel so good, it's crazy. Isn't that right, baby?
Yeah, you're crazy, all right.
(150/90). The headaches might even be hypertensive headaches, but they're probably not. They're probably related to, to blood sugar. You might be in this hyperinsulinemic state. 150/110. Your total cholesterol was 165 before. Now it's 225. A liver that's inflamed in any way or sick in any way will leak some of its enzymes out into the blood. So this is very non-specific, but it means the liver is sick. Yeah. And the most likely cause of your liver sickness is a fatty liver. Your liver is now like pate. SGOT was originally 21. Now it's
130.
And SGPT was originally 20.
Was
20. Now it's 290. More than tenfold increase. That's not good. Not good. Anybody would say right now that you're sick. You feel fatigued with this, you feel lethargic with this, you feel run down with this, you feel... If somebody were doing this to their liver with alcohol, they could theoretically wipe out the liver, wipe out all the liver cells and there'd be liver failure. Now, I've never heard of anybody doing this to their liver with a high-fat diet. But I guess anything's possible. I mean, I don't know. I can't answer the question. Never been done before. No one's ever wiped out their liver with a high-fat diet before.
Wow. And I won't wipe out my liver in 2 more weeks.
I would think it'd be unlikely. I don't want to tell you wouldn't. I mean, my advice to you is to stop doing what you're doing because it's hurting you. And you're sick. You're sick and you're making yourself sick, and you can make yourself unsick by stopping doing what you're doing.
There's a drug that is used in emergency rooms called naloxone. It's used for heroin overdose. And a guy comes in, overdose on heroin, comatose, he's going to die. You inject him with this drug, and it blocks the opiate receptors in the brain. Heroin doesn't work, he wakes up. If I give that same drug to a real chocolate addict, a person just shoveling it in, you find the most amazing thing. They lose much of their interest in chocolate. They take a bite, they set it back down. In other words, it's not taste and mouthfeel. It's a drug effect of the food within the brain that keeps us coming back again and again.
But it's interesting you're saying that your mood goes up once you start eating.
But yeah, lately, every time I eat, I feel 100% better.
Huh. So it seems like you're starting to get addicted.
If you look at the menu at a fast food restaurant, they use all of the addicting components. They'll take a slab of meat, cover it with cheese. Cheese, of course, which is filled with the casomorphins, the opiates that are found in the cheese protein. And then they serve it with a sugary soda, which has the addictive powers of sugar, with plenty of added caffeine. Now, you might be a 12-year-old kid. Your brain is no match for that combination.
In 2002, McDonald's France took out a full-page ad in a French magazine in which a nutritionist stated, "There is no reason to go to McDonald's more than once a week." McDonald's corporate headquarters in the U.S. freaked out, saying that this is only one opinion, and that the vast majority of nutrition professionals say that McDonald's food can be a part of a healthy diet. So, we thought we'd randomly call some nutritionists to see what their opinions were when it came to eating fast food.
How often do you think that people should eat fast food?
Ideally, never.
Rare to never.
The less the better. 0 is the best. And hopefully no more often than once a month.
If you are stranded on a deserted island, or if we get bombed with anthrax and that's the only food available, that's the only time you should eat fast food.
We called 100 nutritionists all over America, and the results were not on track with the vast majority McDonald's talked about. Only 2 out of the 100 said you should eat fast food 2 times a week or more. 28 said once a week to once or twice a month, and 45 said you should never eat it. 95 of them agreed that it is a major contributor to the obesity epidemic sweeping America.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Hi, Morgan. How are you? Rich Bennett from Health. Unfortunately, I have to tell you that Health is going to have to close its doors effective immediately. I'm sorry to have to tell you that over the phone. We're all sort of surprised, but we will proceed as before, just not at the Integrative Health Center. Okay, Morgan, thanks, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Apparently, we don't put much value on health in America anymore. Here, we spend over $30 billion on diet products and weight loss programs, 2.5 times what we spend on fitness and health. There are pills, drinks, bars. You can lose weight while you sleep, while you watch TV, and while eating everything you want, always pushing the newest way to stay thin without exercise. Some people, however, feel that they have tried everything and see only one remaining option as their last hope for health.
I'm diabetic. 80% of people don't have to take insulin anymore.
It's like 2 in the morning on February 21st. I woke up, couldn't breathe, was having really difficulty breathing. I'm very hot, and felt like I was having heart palpitations. Came up and walked around the living room, just trying to get my breath back, and I want to finish, but don't want anything real bad to happen either.
Are absolutely outrageous. Okay, for the first time we're seeing uric acid elevated, so you're giving yourself hyperuricemia, and the danger of hyperuricemia is gout, kidney stones. The results for your liver are obscene beyond anything I would have thought.
Yeah.
Truly. I mean, that movie Death in Las Vegas, Nicolas Cage, I mean, that pickled his liver during the course of a few weeks in Las Vegas, right? I would never have thought that you could do the same thing with a high-fat diet.
Yeah.
My advice to you as a physician is that you've got to stop. You're pickling your liver.
Yeah.
You're kicking it while it's down now. Now it's down, and you're kicking it further. I mean, if you're an alcoholic, I'd say you stop. I say you're going to die. You keep drinking, you'll die. If the pain starts to radiate to your jaw or down your arm, that's life-threatening, and immediately so.
Yeah.
So I need to hear about that, or you need to call 911.
Okay.
All right.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, sweetheart.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm worried about you.
Yeah.
I had no idea this was going to be such a dangerous experiment.
Yeah. I don't think anybody did. The doctor didn't even think it was going to be this drastic. He's floored by it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know what will happen. He says, listen, I have no idea. But, he said that if I am feeling bad or feeling anything to page him, and he'll admit me immediately wherever I am.
Oh, sweetheart.
Yeah.
I love you so much, and I don't want you to be hurt.
Yeah, me either. Me either.
get nauseous, you start vomiting, your eyes turn yellow, you have got to go to the emergency room, no
Okay.
matter where you are.
Okay.
If you're, again, if you're not keeping food down or anything, you're feeling sick to your stomach, it looks like, your liver function tests are getting worse.
My suggestion would be to stop the diet.
Okay.
And, go back to eating lower fat diet, rechecking the blood test in a couple of weeks.
Nobody needs to be partisan about this issue. We need fixes, we need remedies, we need support. And
how much influence on government legislators does the food industry have?
Well, the food industry is an enormous business in the United States. Therefore, it employs very expensive and well-paid lobbyists. And those lobbyists are in Washington for two purposes. Number one, to make sure that no government agency ever says, eat less of the company's products. Number two, that the government never passes legislation that is unfavorable. And I guess the third one is to encourage the government to pass favorable legislation.
The GMA is one of those lobbies.
You're going to see us do what we do best, and that is market appropriately, finance education programs, as we're doing in a great abundance, getting good information out to parents so we can solve the problem. That's what we do in the food industry. We think that is a responsible, important role to play. We are not police, we are not regulators. We provide a safe, affordable abundance of food like the world has never seen.
The food industry and the broadcasters are extremely powerful lobbies, and they outgun us.
The industry has stepped up to the plate. We're going to do more. We want to do more. We recognize we have a role to play. We're part of the solution. We're part of the problem. And we also are part of the solution.
Did everyone hear what he just said? We're part of the problem. The lobbyists for Coke, Heinz, Smucker's, Kellogg's, Nestle, Kraft, Hershey, Sara Lee, Cadbury, General Mills, Seagram, Welch's, Wise, Anheuser-Busch, Birds Eye, Lance, Campbell's, Carvel, Mars, Ocean Spray, Hormel, Dannon, and Pepsi said we're part of the problem. I think we're making some headway.
That you're here. I hope you got fat. I hope you got really fat. 'Cause if you got really, really fat, you just might want to see me come back. I hope you got fat. Hey, I don't care.
Hi, can I help you?
Could I get a large vanilla shake, please?
I'm sorry, so we don't have any shake right now.
No shakes.
No.
When will you have shakes, you think? Guess that's never.
At the end of this month, I'll have eaten as much McDonald's as most nutritionists say you're supposed to eat in 8 years.
Oh, man. Walking up the stairs has started to get really difficult. By the time I get to the top, it's really pathetic. Oh, man.
I've got Morgan's detox diet all ready to go. The biggest thing is taking the crap out and putting good stuff in. Really focusing on nutrient-dense food, organic, seasonal, fresh food. Making sure that I'm getting as many cleansing vegetables into his diet as possible.
Extra calories.
I love you dearly, but you are demented, man. I'm going sick.
Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow.
I can't believe that tomorrow I'm going to get up and not have to go eat McDonald's.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy.
210
I'm going to
pounds.
say 210, right on the money. We went from 185.5 to 194. A week later to 203. then down to 202, and now 8 pounds during the last week for 210 total. I think we know the damage that can be done.
After 6 months of deliberation, Judge Robert Sweet dismissed the lawsuit against McDonald's. The big reason? The two girls failed to show that eating McDonald's food was what caused their injuries. Interesting. In only 30 days of eating nothing but McDonald's, I gained 24.5 pounds. My liver turned to fat, and my cholesterol shot up 65 points. My body fat percentage went from 11 to 18%, still below the national average of 22% for men and 30% for women. I nearly doubled my risk of coronary heart disease, making myself twice as likely to have heart failure. I felt depressed and exhausted most of the time, my mood swung on a dime, and my sex life was non-existent. I craved this food more and more when I ate it, and got massive headaches when I didn't. In my final blood test, many of my body functions showed signs of improvement, but the doctors were less than optimistic.
I would very, very much doubt that these numbers will return to normal.
Although it did drop, it was a small drop.
If you kept on the diet indefinitely, I know that you'd probably develop coronary artery disease.
Inflammation and hardening of the liver.
Should people eat fast food?
No. You know this, the answer is no.
It certainly needs to be very restricted and balanced with overall a healthy diet and overall a lot of exercise.
And there's no reason whatsoever why fast food has to be so disgusting. Fast food can be nutritious.
It's a cheap form of food, and it does keep you full for a while, so you get your money's worth. But unfortunately, you cause some major harm to your heart, your liver, your blood.
I wouldn't suggest you continue the diet for a year to check this out. I don't think it's appropriate or healthy, especially with what showed up with your liver.
For a year?
Right.
So I shouldn't eat this food for a year?
No, I don't think so.
You know, we see people who go on an alcohol binge and their numbers go up like crazy. But to go on, a Mac attack, and they've got numbers to show that it attacks your liver too. I wouldn't have even thought about this, but it makes sense. Now that we have the data, it definitely makes sense.
Still, the impact of this initial lawsuit is being seen far and wide. School districts in New York, Texas, and San Francisco have banned sugary soft drinks in schools, and all natural healthy options are popping up everywhere. McDonald's joined right in, sponsoring events that showed how health conscious they'd become, and creating a new line of premium salads. At the same time, however, they also masterminded one of their fattest sandwiches to date, the McGriddle, a pancake-wrapped creation that won my heart in Texas, but can pack as much fat as a Big Mac and have more sugar than a pack of McDonald's Land cookies. In fact, their new premium ranch chicken salad with dressing delivers more calories than a Big Mac and 51 grams of fat, 79% of your daily fat intake. Over the course of my McDiet, I consumed 30 pounds of sugar from their food. That's a pound a day. On top of that, I also took in 12 pounds of fat. Now I know what you're saying. You're saying nobody's supposed to eat this food 3 times a day. No wonder all this stuff happened to you. But the scary part is, there are people who eat this food regularly. Some people even eat it every day. So while my experiment may have been a little extreme, it's not that crazy. But here is a crazy idea. Why not do away with your supersize options? Who needs 42 ounces of Coke, a half pound of fries? And why not give me a choice besides French fries or French fries? That would be a great start. But why should these companies want to change? Their loyalty isn't to you, it's to the stockholders. The bottom line, they're a business, no matter what they say. And by selling you unhealthy food, they make millions. And no company wants to stop doing that. If this ever-growing paradigm is going to shift, it's up to you. But if you decide to keep living this way, go ahead. Over time, you may find yourself getting as sick as I did, and you may wind up here. Or here. I guess the big question is, who do you want to see go first? You or them?
a pound. Hamburgers, Coca-Cola, getting gas from too much soda. Double, double, chunky, chunky. Hope this meal is never over. The world is round, and so am I. Big boys, big girls with real big thighs. Supersize, supersize the American way. Throw it down all day, every day. Supersize, supersize the American way. Getting fat, getting broke, either way you're gonna pay. Supersize me. Supersize me. Supersize me. Supersize me. Now I can't get out of bed, so I have to order in. I'm a triple fat fatty and I have a triple chin. Who's to blame? Call the lawyer, try to settle out of court. Get some cash, spend it fast, cause I'm staring at my fork. Cause it's sad and it's lonely. Ham and cheese with bologna, large pie, stuffed crusted. I have lost the motivation to inhibit the sensation. Bottle up the frustration. Birthday cake, I stick my face in. Turkey club with double bacon, it's got healthy connotations. Fast food is overtaken and it's supersized the nation. Supersize, supersize the American way. Throw it down all day, every day. Supersize, supersize the American way. Getting fat, getting broke, either way you're gonna pay. Supersize me.
For over 20 years, Herbalife has built a great reputation for good business practice. Now established in every continent, it has an impressive international manufacturing and distribution capability.
The world's #1 weight control company. It has many thousands of satisfied customers, drawing on the expertise and groundbreaking research of the illustrious members of our Scientific Advisory Board, like Nobel laureate Louis Ignarro,
and respected nutrition specialist and author, Dr. David Heber, PhD.
We use 100% pure, naturally derived ingredients, scientifically formulated to be safe and effective.
The Herbalife product range includes personalized wellness programs, complemented by the power of protein for weight control and targeted nutrition in the form of essential vitamins, minerals, and herbal supplements.
Dr. David Heber, graduate of Harvard Medical School and esteemed director of the UCLA Center for Human Nutrition, championing the worldwide battle against human obesity through a lifelong dedication to the science of human nutrition. 3 decades of research and a commitment to helping save people's lives, resulting in Dr. Heber's direction of research by the National Institutes of Health, Center for Dietary Research and Botanicals, and the National Cancer Institute's funded Critical Nutrition Research Unit, exploring cutting-edge theories of herbal supplementation and pioneering ideas of meal replacement. Director of the Mark Hughes Cellular and Molecular Nutrition Laboratory, Chairman of the Medical Advisory Board of Herbalife International, and now here to help you attain your best possible shape, Dr. David Heber.
Today, everyone's talking about obesity. You've seen it in the headlines. 1 out of 2 Americans is overweight. 1 out of 3 is obese. Countries like Japan that have always had a healthy diet today find that obesity has increased from 5% to 20% of the population. This is a worldwide epidemic. For the first time in human history, there are 2 billion overweight people and 2 billion underweight people in the world, with the 2 numbers equal for the very first time in human history. So what's happened in the last 20 years? I like to say it's not the fish, it's the aquarium. We haven't changed. Our genes are the same. They've been in our bodies for 50,000 years. What's changed is our diet and our lifestyle. We have fast foods. We eat a lot of snacks. We're stuck in our cars commuting. We have sedentary jobs sitting at a computer all day. If we can understand our bodies, understand how they work, we can solve this problem together. So the first step is understanding your body shape and understanding your body fat and understanding your body protein. People come in all different shapes. Men can get body fat mostly in the upper body. Women get it either in the upper or lower body. That upper body fat is fat that allows you to hang on to calories while you search for food. You may go days without food in an ancient jungle. You need that upper body fat. Women, the lower body fat is there to allow you to breastfeed a newborn infant. It responds to female hormones. It too is an important organ in your body, just like your heart, your kidney, or your brain. Understanding how it works and understanding how your diet relates to your body shape, your body fat, and your body protein is the key to being successful. Now, I've got lots of different patients that I've sat with over the last 30 years. Typically, a big man with a lot of upper body fat tells me, oh, I can lose weight anytime I want. I can cut my steak in half and I'll lose 20 pounds. The bad side of that is he thinks he can lose weight anytime he wants. So he doesn't care what he eats every day. He might be eating a 14-ounce steak and some onion rings. On the other end of the spectrum, I've got a small woman who wants to lose weight but can't. She's following all the rules, eating the right foods, but because her metabolism is slow, due to a low level of body protein, she's not able to lose weight as easily. And in every weight loss group, women usually lose weight more slowly than men. So what's the key to understanding your body? You have to know your body protein, match the protein in your diet to the protein in your body, and understand that we each have our personal best shape. One size does not fit all. Understanding your body shape is the first step toward losing weight and getting to your personal best shape in the most effective and easiest way possible. So let's get to understanding your body shape, understanding your body fat, and how it relates to your diet and lifestyle. The thing I would do when I sit down to teach you how to understand your body is to determine the amount of protein that's in your body. Protein is extremely important. It helps to maintain healthy muscles and organs in your body. If you don't eat enough protein in your diet, your body will steal protein from your muscles, liver, and other organs. If there's not enough protein in your diet, you won't have enough energy to get through the day. But if you eat enough protein, you'll have a lot of energy, and protein will help satisfy your hunger, so you won't be as tempted to eat the wrong foods. Now, how do I determine how much protein's in your body? With a very simple tool, we put 2 electrodes on your hands and feet, totally painless, and in a few moments, using the electrical properties of your body, I can determine how much lean and how much fat is in your body. The pounds of lean in your body will tell me how much protein you need to be eating every day. For every pound of lean in your body, you'll need to eat 1 gram of protein per day. So a woman with 100 pounds of lean will need 100 grams of protein a day. Her husband with 150 pounds of lean will need 150 grams of protein in his diet every day. And I can determine how many calories you burn at rest. A woman with 100 pounds of lean will burn 1,400 calories a day because every pound of lean burns 14 calories per day. Her husband with 150 pounds of lean will burn 2,100 calories a day. So now I know how much protein you need in your diet and how many calories you burn per day. And finally, I can determine your target weight. What would be the right weight for you at the proper range of body fat? All of that information in just a few minutes from this simple tool. So we're building a roadmap for you. If you were going to go on a trip to a city for vacation, you'd like to know which road do I take, how long will it take me to get there, and what's my final destination. Using this simple tool, we found a way to map out your journey to your personal best body shape. How many calories you burn per day, how much protein you'll need in your diet, how quickly you'll lose weight, and what your ultimate target weight should be. Now you know how much protein you should eat and how many calories you should be eating to lose weight properly. But how do you do it? How do you really do that during a day? Well, it's very difficult for you to eat the right number of calories by just trying to eat less of your favorite foods. What I've found works the best is the ideal meal, a healthy, protein-fortified shake that tastes as good as a smoothie. Let's look at breakfast, for example. If you eat cereal, did you know that 1 ounce of Raisin Bran has 190 calories? And that's just a little variety pack box. When you go to pour cereal out into your bowl, do you use 1, 2, or 3 of those variety boxes? As you can see, the calories add up pretty fast. And what about lunch? You might be at the office or you might be shopping in a mall when suddenly you get hungry. You walk out, fall into a fast food restaurant, the next thing you know, you've got a hamburger, French fries, and a Coke, and you've eaten 1,000 calories. Scientific research shows that meal replacements, the scientific name for this protein-fortified healthy shake, if you eat 2 of them a day, you lose weight, eat 1 a day, you can keep it off for a lifetime. So that's a great habit. And how would I make that ideal meal? I'd make it out of the finest protein, soy protein. I'd make sure it was low in saturated fat and cholesterol. I'd make sure it's rich in healthy fiber. And I'd make sure it had adequate vitamins and minerals, or vitamins and minerals in a separate supplement. Myself, I love to make a healthy protein-fortified shake in the morning. I use some non-fat milk or soy milk. I use a healthy protein powder, and then I use another protein powder to customize the amount of protein for my personal needs. And finally, I like to use about a cup of frozen blueberries because I love the taste and the color. Blend it all up, and I've got a great shake that keeps me from being hungry all morning long. This is the way that you can lose weight effectively in a simple, fun, and easy way. The ideal meal, made up personally for your body shape, will get you to your best personal shape. Now that we've personalized your protein and we've given you a roadmap to losing weight, how can we maximize your success? Well, everyone knows that diet and exercise and behavior modification are important. For exercise, I like to use dumbbells, something you can do every day, very simple. But what about other roadblocks that are more difficult? What kinds of things do people run into? Well, for one thing, your energy level might drop when you cut your calories. To help with this, you can take green tea, caffeine, or other herbs, which will elevate your energy level. But you got to be careful, because sometimes if you get too much energy, you can get more nervous and tend to snack more. Which brings me to the second roadblock, which is snacking. If you snack all the time, you're eating when you're not hungry, you have certain trigger foods. Maybe for you it's cheese, for another person it's nuts or pizza. Find out what your trigger foods are, and then there actually are some herbs, one of which is called Garcinia cambogia, which can help with snack eating. It's been shown in studies to reduce eating between meals. And the third most common roadblock I've run into is people not feeling regular. You cut down your food intake, so you're not taking in enough fiber. Try to eat more fruits and vegetables, and if necessary, take a fiber supplement. Using these simple steps to enhance your basic diet, exercise, and behavior lifestyle plan can help you to reach your personal best shape and maximize your chances for success.